In this video, I'm going to be reviewing the Ro-Biki Note from Yamamoto paper. I'll be going over the specs, I'll do a paper test, and I'll tell you what I like and don't like about this notebook coming up. Blake here with Blake's Broadcast. On this channel, I review fountain pens, paper, and ink, and as always, I put links in the show notes in the description below. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, it really helps out my channel. Alright, let's get on with the review. Okay, so this is the Ro-Biki Note from Yamamoto paper, and here we can see it says Ro-Biki Note Museum Series. This is a famous piece of art, which I personally do not recognize. Sorry, tell me in the comment section what it is. There are 60 plain pages in here. It's made in Japan, wax paper on the cover, and it's a very nice, albeit small notebook. Just as a comparison to some other small notebooks, this is a field notes, so we're quite a bit smaller than that. Although you do get more pages, you get 48 in a field notes and you get 60 in this. But this is a very small notebook, and it is $7, which isn't exactly cheap. It's 3.5 inches by 4.9 inches, so sort of note card-y size. It says Yamamoto paper on the back, and they have their logo there. Now, normally, I'm not a huge fan of notebooks that are this size and style. I do like the Smyths in Panama. You know, this is a very well put together notebook with signatures, whereas this is stitched in the middle of the pages. So you got, you know, just sort of one big signature here. By comparison, field notes is stapled, which is not as nice, but functionally I think it works the same. In terms of it laying flat, you just have to kind of work it a little bit and it will do that. So that part is quite good. Opening it up, we have this waxy paper cover here. Feels pretty nice. We have a bright white, thicker end paper here. I would have liked to see it match the main paper. I don't know why they didn't do that, but they didn't. And then we have a dot grid here, 5mm dot grid. It's green, which I also don't like. Not a big deal, but just, I don't know why we went with green, but we did. Now, the reason that I bought this notebook is that this has new Chiffon Cream paper, which I sampled in this Yamamoto fountain pen friendly paper collection. I really liked that paper. The texture of this paper when you're writing on it, it's very luxurious. It's super nice to write on. I don't know if the microphone will pick that up, but it's very smooth. There's a nice tactile feel to it. It's very luxurious to write on. The downside is it does bleed. So, you know, you're not going to... Here I used a Omas, which is a pretty flexible fountain pen, but... And this is a Waterman black ink, which is not what I would consider a difficult ink, but it can't handle it. Anyway, let's look at the paper test here. So on the front, everything looks really nice. I actually have no complaints here. Everything looks really clean. Very good on the face here. Now if we go to the back, we got just a little bit of spotting from the Pilot 6mm, a little bit from the Hakase, the double broad cursive italic, and we got some from the Opus 88 or 1.5mm with the Roshizuku Yuyaki. The Namiki Yukari Royale in M came through just a little bit. Dialogue 3 extra fine with the Roshizuku Konpeki. One spot it came through. Now with the final pens here on the back, Herman Parker, you know what, it really didn't do that bad with the Stedler. It did pretty good with the Pilot oil drawing pen. You know, you can see it coming through, but it's not going through all the way. Sharpie, Copic bled through. So what do we think about this paper? Well, I really, really like writing on it. I would love to have it in a notebook that is bigger, like, you know, this My Paper Mind blocker paper notebook, sort of a B5 size. That would be nice, or an A5 size. I don't know how expensive this paper is, but I'd like to have it in something more substantial than this, and you know, you can buy it in loose sheets from Yamamoto paper, but again, I'd really like to see it bound into a notebook. For $7, it's pretty expensive. So what are my pros and cons for the Yamamoto paper Ro-Biki Note notebook? The biggest pro is definitely this Chiffon or new Chiffon Cream paper. It's really, really nice to write on. It has like a very luxurious sort of supple feedback that I haven't really experienced in other papers. It is pretty cool and it's definitely worth checking out. I like the wax paper cover. This should, you know, patina pretty nicely. In time, they say that it'll develop a patina the more that you use it. That's pretty much it for my pros. Cons, $7 is relatively expensive for a notebook that's, you know, smaller than a field notes. You do get 60 pages versus 48, which is good, but for $7, you get one of these. For $10, I think you get 3 of those field notes. So not super cheap for what you're getting here. The size is very small. It's about 1.5 centimeters shorter than a field notes. So your field notes covers and related accessories might not work with this. The paper does bleed with bigger or wetter nib, so I don't really know why you would want to write with a really wide nib in a notebook this small, but if you did, not probably a good idea. So that is definitely a downside. I also don't like the green dot grid. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but would not be my first choice at all. But that's pretty much it. Do you guys have this notebook? Do you like this notebook? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you like this video, please hit that like button. And if you want to see more fountain pen, paper, and ink videos, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much. And until next time.